And I'm Oscar Blue for Real America's Voice News. How's everybody doing? It is a pleasure to be talking to you guys on this Monday, July 22nd of the year 2022. Um, a lot of things to talk about, and it's extremely important for us to talk about these things because they're urgent and they're happening at a rapid pace. They're happening extremely quickly, and it's fast forwarding into us to try to understand when is this going to end and how it is going to end, and if it is going to end, how it is going to be played out on the next administration in 2025. It's crazy what is happening in the United States of America. The shooting last week of Donald Trump, crazy. The intent of assassination, they almost, God forbid it that it was divine intervention by all means of a miracle. He didn't die. And now, we have this Joe Biden dropping out of the candidacy because he's sick. Now there's speculations of possibly he is in a critical health condition right now. Two people have been reported. Two people have reported, and these are credible sources. One of them was Charlie Kirk. The other one was Laura Loomer, which I know. Two credible sources have also been reporting about this, and it's something that it's dangerous. It's something that is crazy. It's something that we never knew, and not. I will talk about that point, but about the critical situation, of this, current situation that is happening. So, thank you so much for joining in. Is everybody here? Is everything okay? I think that we are having a problem with YouTube. I don't know if it's going. Yes, I believe that it's going. It's there. Let me see if it's there or it's not there. Yes, it's going. It's there. So thank you so much for joining in. Share the video, like the video, share the video, like the video, share the video, and like the video. So a couple of days ago, I reported that a caravan just left the south border again. A migrant caravan left the south border of Mexico in the part of Tapachula. And they just crossed from the Guatemala, border, entered the country of Mexico. And after that, ultimately, they awaited to see if they will get the permits of the multiple migration form to walk all the way to the south border of the United States of America. That is the north border of Mexico. So, this happened. Of course, the Mexican authorities have a process. They need to wait. The migrants need to wait, but they always decide that they want to go. They don't want to wait. They just don't want to wait for the process. They say, it takes too long. It takes 2 to 3 weeks. We don't have the money. We need to we need to get to our destination. The problem about this, and let me put the video on the right for everybody to understand and see what I mean. The problem about this situation, the problem about this current situation, it is that this is continuing. It's an exacerbated problem. It has been incentivized by the Biden administration in all 4 years. It has been the administration which more caravans have been made in history. And it is quite a normalization now. It's quite like a conduct now. It's quite like something that it needs to be done for people to migrate. It needs to be happening for people to just get to the other side of the border, to get to the United States of America. It's sad, because all these people are walking and walking and walking, and that shouldn't be the way to migrate. But holy cow, until when the Biden administration is going to continue to incentivize this conduct? It is exactly the same as they have been incentivizing the conduct of crossing through the Darian jungle. They have denigrated the Latino and Hispanic people to make them think that the Democrats, make them think that is their value to migrate. You got to go through a jungle. You got to go through a desert. You got to go through, a river. You have to walk 70,000 miles to get to the next, to the American dream, as they say, and these people have normalized this conduct. And I have walked and documented 11 caravans. You have to be freaking kidding me. 11 caravans I have walked. And, and this is just normal now. It's just normal. This pathways, I have walked these pathways, to basically, to document the mass migration. But it's just a normalization. It's a conduct that now has been normalized, and it has been incentivized by none other than the Democrats. The Democratic Party, the policies of the Global Compact on Migration, the policies of not only the Global Compact on Migration, but the policies of the United Nations, the policies they have been passed of open border policies. the policies of the NGOs, the policies of all these policies, on top of policies. And, it's unbelievable. It's incredible, that it's continuing. It's incredible that it's happening. Now, the sad thing about it, and I will say this to every single one of you, the sad thing about it is this. I'm going to put the side screen right here. The sad thing about it is that the level of education that our people have in terms to the policies of the United States of America, this is how you brainwash a population to think that illegal situations are legal, and to make them understand that they're doing something that is incorrect. But in the face of the Democrats and the left, progressive, mercenary, activist, socialist, communist liberals of the United States of America, this should be okay. Putting people through jungles, putting people through rivers, pushing the narrative of continuing the life and death situation of migrating. This is for them okay. And they pander to the suffering. They pander to, is because of the white supremacy, the imperialistic United States of America, that it has taken away the dreams and economy. They always use this terminologies. And the people that they're walking and they're behind, they do not know how the politics it is affecting right now with the Biden administration, how it is affecting continuously and directly into the American taxpayer, into the American people. This is the crazy part about it, that when you interview these people, Jesus, the response is just incredible. Because right now, I'm going to put on the screens an interview that it's just, by any means, somebody saying that it's buffering on YouTube. Can somebody confirm that if it is buffering on YouTube, if I have a buffering situation on YouTube, can somebody say no, yes, because somebody's saying it's buffering and possibly it's him. But I always put attention to these kind of details because it makes me try to arrange it or try to fix it. So I don't know if it is buffering or not. That will help if people, it's okay. Somebody saying it's okay. So I will continue. I will put an interview right now for people to understand the level of education of our people. Sadly, of the migrant that is, the middle class, lower class migrant. And this is sad because this is what the Democrats want. And this is the thing that aggravates me and the thing that pisses me off. It is that the responsibility of educating our people in terms to migration, it is these international organizations, the NGOs, the United Nations, all these people. But they do not tell them exactly how to migrate or how to do the process. And they brainwash them. They watch all this fake news media, Hispanic fake news, leftist media. And also now they watch CNN, MSNBC, Democracy Now!, The Daily Beast, Al Jazeera, all these progressive media. And they make them think that what they're doing, it is okay. But the level of understanding of this interview that I will put right now on the screen is just unbelievable. I saw this interview that it was done by our cameraman down south of the border of Tapachula, Manuel de Jesus. And the questions of every single reporter and journalist right now, it is, what are your thoughts on Donald Trump that is going to do a massive deportation? And what are your thoughts on Joe Biden? And they immediately start chanting like Joe Biden was sent by God. And I'm like, wow. How did this happen? How, what the hell? Who educated our people to not be educated on this topic? This is why it is so important that our people, before they migrate, before they go, they need to be well educated of the circumstances and the situations of every border in every country. Plus, adding to the fact that we need to make those countries greater, man, so they will not leave their land on an assumption that is going to get better on another country and another country and another country. For God's sake, Central and South America, they have the most richest natural resources in the world. And how is these countries of poverty? But let me just show you the interview. Before I go, let me just show you the interview. In you watching this interview, you're going to realize, wow, this is the reason why. This is the reason why this is happening. And this is the reason why NGOs, they coach them. They get to the border. They start yelling, it's my human right. They're violating my human right. Don't record me. You're violating my human right. If you don't take down the video, I will call an NGO and they will tell. Where did they get that? Where? Leftists. They get that. And the leftists say, oh, we're fighting for their rights. No, you're fighting for a purpose to collect money because you're living out of this human misery and it is never getting fixed. Look at this interview. I will translate. It is a 2-minute and 36-second video. Something like that. 2-minute and 36 seconds. Give it a like to the video. Share the video. Come on, man. Come on. Hit that bell button on YouTube. Hit that like button on Facebook. Hit that like button on Twitter. Come on. Let's do this, people. And also, buy me a coffee. It is pinned right there in the chat. If people like to contribute to my independent reporting and travel fund, buy me a coffee. It is right there. Pinned in the chat. I will greatly appreciate this. Really, guys. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to travel in the next incoming weeks. So buy me a coffee. It is right there, pinned in the chat. Somebody saying my internet, man. It goes on. If it goes in, it goes off. I apologize for that. I'm trying to do the best that I can with what I have. Buy me a coffee. It is pinned right there in the chat. Thank you so much. Let's go to the interview and I will translate and I will pause the interview. So the reporters, the first thing that they're asking is, what do you think of Trump, of this mass deportation? Look at this guy. Immediately, he's a preacher. Apparently, he's some guy that is in charge of an organization that is Christian. And he looks like he's from Central America, not from South America. It looks from Central America. But the essence of him, what he's saying, is just completely shocks you to now understand why we have this problem and why this problem is continuing, because these people are migrating on this educational level that they think that the American dream is walking, crossing rivers, jumping walls, and it is normal and it is okay. And it is not supposed to be okay. It is not supposed to be risking your life or life and death. It's not supposed to be like that. But the progressives and the Democrats have educated our people like that because they don't care. Look at this video. It's unbelievable. I will translate.
Elección para presidente. ¿Qué opinas acerca de eso? ¿Qué opinión tienen los migrantes que van del gobierno de México a Estados Unidos?
What is your opinion on the next election of the United States of America? What is your opinion on the migrants that they are going right now onto the borders of the United States of America? Listen to this. Listen to this. Just listen. And I will stop and I will translate. The reporter just asked, what are your thoughts on the new, immigration policies that are implemented in the United States of America in the next elections? Look at this.
La opinión que tengo yo como cristiano.
And the opinion that I have as a Christian.
Como dirigente del partido por la vida.
As a director of a party, a political Christian party, it says from pro-life.
Emigrante de Jesús.
A servant of Jesus.
Nuestro lema.
That is our slogan.
Que Joe Biden cuenta con nosotros.
We want to say to Joe Biden that he can count with us. He can count with us.
Y cuenta con la ayuda de Dios.
And I want to tell Joe Biden that he is surrounded by God. He counts with the help of God.
Porque Joe Biden viene de parte de Dios.
Because Joe Biden is coming from God. He is a messenger of God.
Porque Estados Unidos nunca ha tenido un presidente como este presidente que.
Because the United States of America never has had a president like this one before.
Ayudado el latino. Entonces.
That has never helped the Latino like Joe Biden.
Él cuenta con nosotros.
And so we will support Joe Biden.
Que Dios te bendiga, Joe Biden.
God bless you, Joe Biden. God bless you, Joe Biden.
¿Y qué le dicen a Donald Trump que podría ser el candidato más fuerte y que promete deportaciones masivas?
What will you say that, Donald Trump, it is the most strongest candidate right now, and he's promising that he is going to do mass deportations.
Pues dice la palabra de Dios
So the word of God says
que ni Nabucodonosor, si lo sabemos en la Biblia, fue un rey que fue muy cruel y
there was a king that he was really cruel. In the Bible, it says, and
villano y no pudo porque
he was a villain and he couldn't move forward because
Jesucristo le quitó el reinado.
Jesus is the one that took the kingdom from him.
Entonces, nosotros tenemos la certeza que John Biden va a volver a reelegirse y va a quedar presidente.
So we have the certainty that Joe Biden it is going to win, and Joe Biden is going to be the next president.
Temor que quede Donald Trump y que sean deportados cada vez que lleguen a Estados Unidos.
So what do you think about Donald Trump that he is going to start deporting people if they enter illegally to the United States?
Repíteme la pregunta, por favor.
Si queda Donald Trump, él va a deportar la mayoría de migrantes. ¿Tienen miedo que sean deportados cuando ya estén ahí en Estados Unidos?
If Donald Trump wins the elections in the United States of America, there's going to be mass deportations. Are you guys afraid that you're going to be deported?
Donald Trump tiene que entender
Donald Trump needs to understand. Look at this.
que Dios metió
That God
su mano para que él viera que Dios está con el migrante.
That God put his hand on that country and that God is with the migrants.
Que está con el humilde.
That God is with the humble.
Por eso Donald Trump está ahí y yo
That is why Donald Trump it is there.
sé que Donald Trump va a permitir que John Biden gane esa campaña.
And I know that Donald Trump it is going to allow Joe Biden to win that campaign. Let me get this. Wow. This is unbelievable. This is what I say. And this is the sad thing about it. This is our people, man. This is how the leftists, the progressive, the Marxists, the communists, socialists, liberals, they take advantage of these people. And they pull them in to basically drag them and to make them think that it's okay to cross the border illicitly or illegally, and to make them understand that that's okay. Why? Because NGOs are making a huge bucket, man. International organizations with the global compact on migration, they're making a lot of money, and they're making a lot of money of people. And the people think and they understand that is their human right to cross every border without documentation, without showing no proof of residency, no ID, no nothing. And that is wrong. It shouldn't be that way. We all know that. I'm a pro-migrant myself. I've said it multiple times. I believe migration is a human right, but in those human rights, you have laws and processes. So you need to obey those laws. And it is not contradictional. It is just so oblivious and obvious. So let me just give you this. Again, this interview, this part, I'm just unbelievably amazed of the statements of these people, man. On this caravan, I'm amazed. Look at this.
Donald Trump tiene que entender.
The question was, what do you think about Donald Trump that is going to start massively deporting? And this guy says Donald Trump needs to understand
Que Dios metió
that God put his hand.
Su mano para que él viera que Dios está con el migrante.
That God put his hand and that God made him understand that God is with the migrant.
Que está con el humilde.
That God is with the humble.
Por eso Donald Trump está ahí y yo
Because that's the reason why Donald Trump is there.
sé que Donald Trump va a permitir que John Biden gane esa campaña.
And I know that Donald Trump, it is going to allow Joe Biden to win this candidacy. Holy smokes, man. Holy smokes. Thank you so much. Buy me a coffee. Anonymous bought me a coffee. Thank you so much. Thank you. Face tea. Thank you so much. Oscar replied. Thank you. God bless you. No, God bless you. Buy me a coffee. 3 coffees. Face tea. Buy me a coffee. It is right there if people want to contribute. Man, this is unbelievable, man. This video, I haven't posted this video because I want to do a recorded video to make people understand how crazy this is. How this has been, this conduct, how this has been normalized. and how the left and the progressive left, they use people that they're not well educated, are people, some of the people that they're not well educated on the political platform, on the political spectrum in the United States of America. And they think that what this guy just said, everybody's clapping on the back, and they understand that that's what it's happening. It's deceiving. Look at this, how it goes, the interview. I will press play again. And the reporters just said this to them. They did not know this. This is how, wow. People are coming out of the jungle. They did not know that Joe Biden just dropped off out of the candidacy. These people, they do not know that Joe Biden just dropped off, that he's no longer eligible to be a candidate to run for president. So one of the reporters said, but Joe Biden is not running anymore. Look at the reaction of this guy. So the only one that is, they're saying Joe Biden is not running anymore. So the only one that is, eligible to win, it is Donald Trump. And this guy starts talking. And this is unbelievable what it comes out of this guy. Just hear this out.
No se va a poder porque Donald Trump, cuando estaba él en su gobierno y todo eso, todavía yo me acuerdo.
So this is not going to happen because Donald Trump, when he was in his government, he remembers
que él mandaba a los niños de 2 o 3 años
that he was sending the children from 2 to 3 years of age.
Y lo mandaba a la corte.
And he will send the children to the court.
¿Y qué hacía? ¿Qué dice un niño de 3 años a la?
So what is the child from a 3-year-old is going to do in a court? That was not even the question. Wow, he's talking about a situation where possibly a child was sent to court because they were questioning him as that was his real dad, that was his real mom. A separation of family, supposedly how they say the left is that Obama was the one that separated more families in history because he deported more Latinos and Hispanics in history. But look at the response. And then he says, and he adds,
Corte, ¿qué es lo que dice? No, se queda mudo.
So what is a 3-year-old is going to do in a court? He's going to stay silent.
¿Qué mudo? ¿Y cuántas veces cuando lo metían a un shelter allá? ¿Qué es lo que hacían? Los mismos cuidadores abusaban de los niños también.
And he said, and what will happen when the kids were going to the shelters? The same people that they were managing the shelters, they were abusing the children. Whoo! What? These are people that it's so confusing because now he's saying something that is actually legitimately, that is a possibility, and a lot of people have been talking about it. That shelters and people inside of these shelters and NGOs, they're distributing children to situations and places where they don't even know where the children are going. But also they have been talking about that in shelters in the United States that they're managed and they're controlled by these NGOs, progressive NGOs. There has been abuse, not only towards children, but a lot of abuse towards women. So this is so confusing because the guy's actually saying something legitimate, but he's assuming that this situation happened under the Trump administration and saying because of that, Donald Trump is not going to be elected. So look at what he says.
Que cuente eso.
They need to tell that. They need to tell that story, he says.
Separación de familia, correcto.
Separation of families, he's saying, correctly. That's separation of families. He cannot be elected because of that.
¿Tienen miedo de que Trump vaya a quedar como presidente?
Are you afraid that Trump is going to be elected as president?
Claro que sí.
Of course, absolutely.
Que sean deportados llegando.
También sí, que sea.
And if you are afraid, if you get deported when you arrive, yes, I'm afraid if I get deported when I arrive.
Deportado uno llegando y todo eso, uno tiene, como le dijera yo, tiene un miedo porque a veces que ese presidente es el presidente malo.
That's and I will say something. That president is bad. He's talking about Donald Trump. That president is bad.
Malo. De corazón. Porque a un niño de 2 añitos, mandarlo para corte.
He's talking about, again, the situation. A child of 2 to 3 years old, send him to court.
No se puede, no se defiende.
He cannot do it. Why you're sending the child? He cannot even defend himself. So this guy is assuming that Donald Trump is not going to be elected because they separated a 3-year-old and he was sent to court. And because of that example, Donald Trump is not going to be elected.
Entonces, ¿qué hacía? Separación de familia.
So that you're talking about separation of families, he says.
Entonces, ¿qué sabías vos de tu hijo si llegaba alguien y abusaba de tu hijo?
And then, bam, he comes again to the things that a lot of the media has been hiding. A lot of the leftist media has been hiding. You know, MSNBC, Daily Beast, Democracy Now, all of those people have been hiding the information of what reality happens inside of the shelters. So this guy's telling now, you know, migrants are suffering abuse, and the child was suffering abuse, he says.
Lo que estaba en un shelter.
And we're talking, he says, talking about a shelter.
Mucha gente abusaron de los niños.
And there, whoa, saying a lot of people abuse from the child in the shelters. Joe, whoa, man. How did this guy, a migrant, knows about the current situations in the shelters, that this has been aggravated and exacerbated under the Biden administration? Under the Biden administration has been growing the abuse, the distribution of children to God knows where, the distribution of all of these situations to God knows where. You know, this is unbelievable. Un saludo a Puerto Ordaz, allá está mi corazón. It's just unbelievable. It's incredible. It's incredible. And this is the level of education of these kind of individuals, man. These kind of individuals, this is the level. And it's sad because this is our people. And it's sad because our people are continuously being educated in this way. So when they arrive, the leftists and the progressives, they say, no, he was the one that separated families. No, he was the one that put children into court. No, he was the rapes and abuses happen under Trump. This is the guy that put the wall. This is the bad guy. Bad, 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 bad. Well, hey, man, hey, can I talk to you for a second? Yeah, you can say. So under the Biden administration, it has been the administration where more migrants have died in history. Oh, I didn't know that. Under the Biden administration, it's where more migrants have died in Central and South America. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Under the Biden administration is where the trafficking of children and women and men has exacerbated and grown onto almost a 200%. Oh, I didn't know that. Under the Biden administration, the cartel has grown more than 100% on power and distributing children and trafficking children. Oh, I didn't know that. Under the Biden administration, it's a complete disaster in cities and violence has increased. Oh, I didn't know that. Under the Biden administration, the elevation of gas prices, of food has grown. Oh, I didn't know that. They don't know the other side of the coin because the left and the progressive mercenary activist liberal educates these people this way for them to be manipulated for a political purpose. And the political purpose, everybody knows. Everybody knows that this is not a conspiracy theory. This is not creating hysteria. This is not fear-mongering. This is not white supremacy. This is not xenophobic, transphobic, homophobic, pronophobic, fatphobic, racist, fascist, narcissist, bigot. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. This is not that at all. It is a reality, man. A reality of how they have been taking advantage of people. And this is how our countries in Central and South America, how they have failed. Our governments, the corruption, the American corporations, that they have not distributed good capitalism in these places. And this shows the level of education. And when you have a low level of education, you will have this. It's unbelievable. Somebody saying it is a conspiracy in its most blatant form. It's not a conspiracy theory. I'm sorry. It's not. This is when you say it's a conspiracy theory, it is a justification from the left. That is a language barrier of defense to just cut the freedom of speech. You put those words just to cut the freedom of speech. And you label people like that. That's the strategy of the left and the progressive mercenary left. That's what they do. It's incredible, this, man. This is incredible. This sad, incredible in a way, sad but incredible. You know, the level of chanting. Yeah, Joe Biden was sent from God. He's a messenger from God. And you're like, whoa, hey, man, slow down, man. Have you known what he has done? Have you known that he is? And, I will push on this topic now a little bit. And I'm not going to talk about that right now. I'm going to talk about that topic as finishing when I'm ending this program, this 1 hour program. But after this, I want to tell you. So the only country that has been pushing the narrative of securing the border, trying to save lives, not live out of lives, not live out of them. It's about saving lives, not living out of them, making a profit out of human lives, has been the Panamanian government under the new president Molino, man, of Panama. This guy's tough. And the director of borders of Senafront, that guy's super tough, Mr. Gobea. Now you go to the Minister of Security, you don't play around with this guy. His name is Frank Abrego. That's a badass guy. These people are coming in to defend the sovereignty of Panama and also to act against the organized crime and the cartel and the clan del Golfo, that they're entering people massively. They were entering people massively to Acandí, Turbo, and Capurganá. Remember that this guy right here, the white giant, and this short Mexican right here, we have crossed the Darian Gap 4 times. So we know how the trafficking and the business that this has increased massively in the part of Colombia. It's unbelievable. So this administration comes in and they say, you know what, we're done. The President Molino came in and said, you know what, this is not Texas. This is not Texas. This is Panama. This is the Darian Gap. This is not Texas. This is Panama. This is the Darian Gap. And you're going to respect the Darian Gap. And we need to talk to Alejandro Mayorkas and let him know that we are not going to allow this to continue. So what has happened? What has happened was that this President Molino that you see on the right here said, we're going to close the Darien. We cannot shut it because it's a jungle. It is more than 256 kilometers that connect. So it's just, and then you have to respect the tribes, because the tribes, the Embera tribes, the ones that they live in the jungle, on the west of the jungle, and the ones that live on the east, that is the Gunayala tribe, they're the owners of the jungle. That's their property. But the government is going in there to try to help and control. And ultimately, this that is happening, Molino said, you know what, I'm going to shut it down. Trafficking, enough is enough. Everybody's profiting and Panama's suffering. And now after that, these NGOs are criticizing and punching every time our institution. The hell with you, man. And we are spending $100 million out of our taxpayer Panamanian money into this effort, and we're receiving just punches? Like, what the hell's going on? No, we're going to create a pathway. What am I going to do? So he said, I'm going to close some routes. Why did he start closing the routes? Why he started closing the routes? The routes that they started closing is because those routes inside of the jungle were the most trafficked drugs. Trafficked drugs. Somebody saying, what about our taxes, Oscar? What about the American? I'm going over there, man. Stop your crying. Jesus, every freaking time. Stop your crying. I'm going over there. And this guy said, I'm going to block and put Constantina wire. And before I go, you should be pissed off, because a lot of this American taxpayer is going over there. And you're the one that funds more the United Nations and also the UNHCR that I made a report on X. So you should be pissed off also. But I'm going over there, man. Slow down. So he put oh my God, you're out. Oh my God, Oscar has a bleeding heart for criminally insane invaders. Oh my God, you're out, man. You're disgusting. You're out. You're out. My God, you're out. You're disgusting. So, and you're here only to distract because we're doing a hell of a good show. And before I go, this guy's out. So before I go, buy me a coffee. It is right there, pin in the chat. You know, a lot of these trolls that come in here to distract me, so I will stay out of the topic. But buy me coffee is right there. So let me go back to the topic. So Molino started putting 7.5 kilometers. He started blocking these entrances. Seven routes of the traffickers he has blocked. This is in months. This is in the first month of him being into government. He blocked 7 routes of these traffickers with concertina wire. And a lot of people say, concertina wire is not going to do enough. You never have been into the jungle. You don't even know the routes. There's some routes that you put concertina wire, and to go around it, you got to go down a cliff that is almost 2,200 feet. So they're strategically doing this in places where they know that the trafficker is going to have to go all the way around and come down from one route. So what they're doing is that they're blocking these routes to make them go around and land through one. And that one was from the last time that Ben Berquam and myself were in the jungle. It is called Caña Blanca. It is a central part in the jungle where there's a station of the agency institution Centerfront, the best border agents in the continent. So what they're going to do is reroute all these people to one route and create a filter. From creating a filter, they're going to have people show their identification and where they're coming from and what the hell they're doing in there, and extract information of who it is smuggling them and why they're using this and that, and try to go over here and try to go over there and la this and la that. Great strategy. Filter, a thing that I have been screaming for almost more than 6 years. And a thing that every American citizen wants at the border, a filter. You know why you need a filter? It's not to keep the good ones out. It's to know who are the bad people coming in. And not only that, to see if that child, it is legitimately, you're the father, you're the mother. If they're creating a fake family, that this has been happening for years now, but under the Biden administration, there's no fake families. Everybody's received, hey, you're not his kid. No, you're not a father. No, I'm his uncle. And what's his birthday? January 17th. Why you're asking me this question? Like, multiple times this happens. Not only that, to know which ones are the legitimate cases of asylum and refugees. Also, to know who is coming in with intentions of what. So Panama's putting the example to the whole continent, a small country, putting an example to the United States of America, to Mexico, to all these countries that they have been having a tough time. And inside the jungle. Just 2 weeks ago, the Panamanian government, in one of the migrant camps that I have been, Lajas Blancas, they found 3 terrorists. And everybody, when they hear the word terrorist, they think of Middle East. Oh my God, Islamophobia. Oh my God. Not about that. Why? Why do I say terrorist? Because also Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador, has designated the MS gang as terrorists, right? So these gangs, these cartels, they should be designated as domestic terrorists. So the Panamanian government immediately, like this, they designated these gangs as terrorists. So 2 to 3 weeks ago, as they were creating this filter, it has been effective. And as this filter was coming in, somebody just bought me a coffee. Thank you so much. 3 coffees. Thank you so much. Buy me a coffee. It is right there. God bless you. So they created this filter. In one of the migrant camps, they were waiting for them. They arrive. Bam. You come over here. You come over here. You come over here. 3 individuals. 2 of them were from the Ecuadorian most dangerous gang called Los Lobos. I started ringing the bell in 2022 in a caravan. that the Tren de Aragua gang, one of the most dangerous gangs in Venezuela, was walking on a caravan, and I was walking inside that caravan, and I was telling all the American people, watch out. Now that I was in the jungle not too long ago, I was talking about this criminal gang that is dangerous, and I said, they're coming from this criminal gang in Ecuador, infiltrated bad people. They're coming in the vulnerable good people, infiltrated, 1 or 2 in 100. How many terrorists is too many? I think not even 1 is too many. So the past director of immigration, Ms. Samira Gozaine in Panama, started talking about this criminal gang more openly. She started saying, the criminal gang Los Lobos, we have found a lot of these individuals inside of our camps. Not even 1 month or 2 months, this guy has been in office. 2 weeks ago, they found 2. 2 of them were, they were looking for them in the Ecuadorian, and they had a history of trafficking of drugs, homicide, and distribution. And not only that, but also they had another trafficker from Colombia that was arrested there with a background of kidnapping and also linked to cartels. 3 of them that were arrested. Sheesh. Whew. In less than 2 to 3 weeks, somebody bought me another coffee. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. Buy me a coffee. It's pinned there on the chat. So they designated these people as terrorists. And the information report from the director of the Minister of Security was, we just detained 3 terrorists. These 3 people were heading into the United States of America. They were not going to Panama. They were not going to Costa Rica, Mexico. Of course, they were directing over there. How many of these undetected individuals do you think you guys have over here already? Under your taxpaying money, because your taxpaying money, it is the one that is funding this mass migration with your collaboration of the Global Compact on Migration. And now a lot of people are pissed off because of this. A lot of American people were pissed off because of this. When Molino came into office, he said, I need to talk to Alejandro Mayorkas ASAP right now. Bring him. Like, sir, he's not. He comes to the inauguration. I will sit down with him and I will tell him enough is enough. You have caused with your policies. You have completely destroyed the jungle. This president is worried about the environmental disaster that Ben Perquan, myself, we have shown of the mass migration that has been occurring inside the jungle. And because of this environmental disaster that has been occurring, this guy started saying, who's going to pick up all the trash? How are we going to? Thank you so much, Noelia. Thank you so much, Noelia Ramirez. Thank you so much. 3 coffees. Thank you. How are we going to clean this up? It is irreparable damages. It is not going to get fixed. So what happened? He started calling Mayorkas and he said, hey, man, you want me to fix this problem? Because this is your problem. It is not my problem. This is not Texas. And you're letting with your open border policies drag all these people over here to normalize this conduct and denigrate these people into a point that you're making them migrate through a jungle to making them think that is okay. So this is how much you care about the Hispanic and Latino people, making them migrate and understand that migrating through a jungle, almost dying, that it's okay. Not only that, man, you have completely destroyed the jungle. The environmental disaster, you have affected the culture of the Embera and the Guna Yala tribe. You also have affected our jungle and the customs of these people. And it is costing us $100 million per year. So how are you going to handle this? This guy said, you need to pay for it, man. And Mayorkas caved in. He said, I will donate $6 million. That it was a slap in the face. Do you think $6 million it is going to repair the environmental disaster of the little Amazons that is called Darian Gap? $6 million, it is going to repair that? All the multiple people, decomposed bodies that they're in there still, that we have also seen decomposed bodies, the disaster of the water, the wildlife, to all you environmentalists, leftist, progressive environmentalists. You love so much the environment. Greta, you have an environmental disaster because of your open border policies and your globalist policies inside of the Darien. I don't know how much it costs for you to fly from whatever you're flying, but That would be a great example to put all these environmentalists to work and start picking up the trash and cleaning up all this mess. So they came to an agreement. These $6 million. So Molino said, I'm going to shut down the Darian. I'm going to close some routes. I'm going to make them come through the filter. That will decrease the flow to one particular pathway. Now, after that, what we're going to do, we need to start deporting people, returning them back home, because we cannot handle this. It's unsustainable. So he called for Mayorkas and he said, I need your support. I cannot handle all of this. I cannot absorb all of this deportations. I need, flights to return them back home. I need buses to return them back home. And the majority is just from here to Venezuela. So it's not going to be that long. And also from buses from here to Colombia or, whatever the route is going to be. He said, okay, I'll give you $6 million. So they're going to start returning people in the next incoming months. This is the article. It was released by the Times of India. It's released on July 20th. It says Panama to start deporting migrants from the Darian Gap within months. And it says right there, it was written by, let me just say who wrote this article. It's always professional to say who wrote it. I don't see who wrote this article, but I will give him the credit for this article. But it says Panama City, Panama government expects to start deporting flights from migrants who cross the country dangerous Darian jungle in 2 to 3 months. The country chief of migration, Roger Mojica, said on Friday. On the bottom, it says the flights will be paid by the United States under a recent agreement that 2 countries closed earlier this month. We're establishing the needs of equipment and requirements that Panama has to face in order to start the program. And we are in conversations with the United States. Mojica said during the conference call, we estimate we should be able to start the process in 2 to 3 months. Panama's new president, Jose Raul Molino, has vowed to curb unlawful immigration and has started to work closely with the United States to control passage through the jungle that links Central America to Colombia. Panama's gap in the jungle that bridges Central America with the South American continent saw a record of 500,000 migrants cross last year, seeking security and better economic opportunities abroad. Panamanian authorities estimate some 213,702 have crossed the Darian so far this year, almost 250,000. So let me tell you, let me go to the other question that a lot of people are really pissed off, and I will just address the American public. To the American audience, you should be mad. You should be upset. You should be upset that you're spending this money. But it's a consequence of bad decisions, bad governments, bad policies. And it is a consequence of bad governments, bad people in places. You put incompetent people and bad people. Bad leaders create bad policies. Bad leaders create bad crises. Bad leaders create this. So you spend money that you should not be spending, and those $6 million that possibly for the United States of America is petty cash. Right now, the United States of America needs every penny. They have been spending millions and billions and billions on a war in Ukraine, where that is an actual genocide. They have we interviewed Vitaly Klitschko, the mayor of Kyiv, and he told us, man, 2 generations are gone. That is a genocide over there, what is happening. And also not in Ukraine, also Russia. And also you're continuing to support the war in Israel, spending billions and billions and sending billions to your south border in the United States of America. But possibly $6 million is not enough. But how many $6 million is going to be continuing with this? So the American taxpayer should be mad and should be pissed off. But they should be mad and pissed off, not on these people, that they have completely the collateral damage to the Biden administration with this mass migration through Central and South America. It's irreparable. I have said it so many times in the war room and with Steve Bannon and multiple hits with the network, Real America's Voice News, and also with Epoch Times and all these people. I have said multiple times the collateral damage that the Biden administration has done with this immigration policies has created chaos, catastrophe, multicultural damage in customs. And this is the repairable damage that they try to fix now with $6 million to start. Unbelievable? Yes. You should be mad? Yes. But you should be mad at your government, not at foreign people that they have taken this mass migration. They say, why don't they close the border, Blue? Why don't they close their border? Why they should be doing that when they are, why am I receiving that massive flow? They want to go to the United States of America. Who's incentivizing that? the Biden administration and Alejandro Mayorkas. Those are the people that should be held accountable for this. And now that this mass migration has occurring, and these kind of things and situations that they are happening in Central and South America, closing of the Darian Gap, and all these kind of situations. Just recently, the president of the United States of America has dropped off the race for candidate for president on this year of 2024. The United States has been going through an emotional roller coaster in these past weeks. The intent of assassination of the president, Donald Trump, the Republican National Convention, and now this. Now that, two people that they are well-trusted individuals, Charlie Kirk and also Laura Loomer, have been posting that the president is in critical health condition. And this is one of the reasons why he dropped off, and he let the candidacy now to Kamala Harris, that she apparently historically nobody has received so much money in the last I don't know how many hours. So she received $81 million to be supported. That's not the topic. The topic is, this is my assumption, and this is my synopsis of this situation. We knew this. Everybody knew that Joe Biden was not fit to be a president. 2020 election, a lot of speculation, stolen, not stolen, whatever it was. We know that he did not get 81 million votes. You got to be kidding me. This guy was not competent on his debates. We saw that from 4 years ago. And it has been 4 years that a lot of independents like me, Republicans, conservatives, left wing also, and right wing media have been saying this guy is not fit to be president. He's not okay. But the leftist progressive media attacking the people and cutting their freedom of speech to say you're a fear monger, you're creating hysteria, you're a conspiracy theories, you're racist, fascist, narcissist, bigot. You're attacking the president. He's fit. He's incredibly fit. This is the same media that has contaminated the United States of America with the identity, gender, and destruction of freedom of speech and their fake news. The consequence of what happened to Donald Trump at that rally, it is a consequence of the media, the leftist progressive media, the liars and the fake news. And this what has happened to Joe Biden. They're complicit. MSNBC, CBS, PBS, CNN, Democracy Now!, the Daily Beast, all these people, you're complicit of this situation because you were the advocates that there was nothing wrong. You were saying that everything was fantastic and everything was okay. And now look, you're eating your own words. He's not fit to be president. He's not fit to continue. Sadly, this is a reality. And sadly, I will say we, not like you liberals that you wish that bullet has gone through the other side, God forbid, on last couple of weeks around the rally, a couple of weeks. But we are not like you, evil. We wish this guy to recover, whether he is a leftist progressive president. We don't wish him wrong. We wish him that he will recover from his health, because ultimately he's a human being at the end of the day, and we don't wish nobody else to die or to be harmed. You do. And it is because of you that this has happened. Now, in another, what kind of family does this guy have, man? This was elderly abuse. It is obvious that it was elderly abuse. It was complete abuse to this man. His wife. What kind of decency do you have? What kind of wife will put a man into this torture of 4 years to be leading a country? And now you're not fit. And they knew this. They absolutely knew this. The consequence of his government. All the disaster that has been happening. Those are consequences of a person that is not fit to be president. The right decisions, 2 wars, the border, inflation, disaster of insecurity. And not only that, the last one that is extremely important. Who in the hell is running the country? Who in the hell is running the country? Then, what the hell is going on? Who in the hell is running the country? So the conspiracies are not conspiracies anymore. Now we know that, there was speculation Obama's running the country. The letter organization that starts with cornflakes was running the country. It's so difficult now and it's so obvious now. And, to everybody that is watching, I wish that Joe Biden recovers as fast as possible, that his health, if he's sick or if he's not, past going through a horrible situation right now. There's not a legitimate information out there, but, we wish him to recover and we wish him well because he's a human being. We're not like you liberals. We're not like you progressive liberals. We don't wish like you were wishing on that rally that something else, a horrible thing will happen. We're not like you. We wish him a greater recovery and that he can recover. And now we understand that, yes, he's not fit to be president. He's not fit to be president, but this gives to the world, to the leaders of the world, it makes everybody understand to say, we knew that he was not fit. To all the presidents and the, first class world countries or the hardcore countries like the ones that they have a lot of power, Russia, countries in the United Arabs, they're watching and they're like, they're weak. They're weak right now, man. They can get hit from the inside like no tomorrow. It's sad to say this, but this is the reality of what the United States of America now, the candidate apparently is going to be Kamala Harris. And, there's no possibilities that the Democratic Party is going to, try to survive this. And if, the favorite candidate to win the election, it is the Republicans, and it is Donald Trump. Now, if they try to pander and use this strategy of pandering because Joe Biden is sick and use that to their advantage, it is going to be completely the contraire. Somebody just donated another coffee. Thank you so much. Cynthia bought me 3 coffees. Thank you so much. Thank you. Why am I saying this? Because to the American people, wake up. They allowed this man to be governing the country for 4 years. What makes you understand and trust them again that they're going to put the right people in the right position to govern another 4 years? It will be completely stupid if people will not see that. I saw, lastly, for everybody that is watching, it is, how's everybody doing? 10:37 on July 22nd. How's everybody doing? Oscar Blue for Real America's Boys News. We're going on 59 minutes and 55 seconds. I will extend only 5 more minutes or possibly 10. I just saw, lastly, I will say this. I just saw a clip of Byron Donalds being on Bill Moore on CNN. And Bill Moore was, I'm sorry if I'm not saying his last name correctly, but, it's kind of difficult to roll the R on Bill Moore, something like that. So I was watching that program, and Byron Donalds, he was my candidate to vice president of Republicans. But Byron Donalds is incredible. Great guy. He's going to be a great leader. And they were talking about inflation. And Bill Moore says, why are you saying that is the worst inflation in history? And, that's a lie. That's a lie. You're talking about that, it's not the worst inflation in history. We have had in history, more worst inflation. And Byron Donalds he shut his mouth. Like, honestly, man, that response that he gave him, I would have, if I was arguing with him, I'll be like, man, you're right. This guy's so fast forward that he gave him a response that is actually accurate. And he says, when we say that it's the worst economy and the worst inflation in history, I'm not talking about the history of the United States of America. I'm talking about my history, because I never suffered the consequences of the history of the economical inflation. If it was an inflation on the 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, I never suffered an inflation. To all the people that they're in their 30s and in their 40s, this is the worst inflation ever. This is our inflation. This is our history. This is what we have been living. I have never seen an inflation like this in my history, in my life. Why I should be talking about the worst inflation in history with my grandparents, with my great-great-grandparent, with my great-great-grandfather? No, I'm talking about this inflation of my history, of my age. And I'm like, hoo-hoo, man, shish, take that, man. Take that to the bank, because that's actually accurate. That's actually true. The people that right now are suffering this inflation, suffering the insecurity, suffering about the mass migration through an insecure border, fentanyl, all of this, it was not the 1940s, 1930s. It was the people that right now, 80s, 90s, 2000s, they're the ones that they're suffering. And this, for them, it is the worst in history of their lives, not of history of the world, of their lives. And we are living our lives in the present, not in the past. It's about present and moving forward in the future and planning the future to get better. This was an incredible report, an incredible response of Byron Donalds. Sheesh. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for this program. It is 10:40, July 22nd of the year 2024. God bless you all. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you all. Let me just do something real quick. Do something real quick right here. Do something real quick. Thank you for joining in. It has been a pleasure to talk to you guys. Tonight I will be traveling soon, so buy me a coffee. It is right there for people who want to contribute to my independent reporting and travel fund. Buy me a coffee. It is right there. I will accept a couple of questions. It is 1:03. It's an hour and 3 minutes. We're going in an hour and 3 minutes right now. An hour and 3 minutes of a program. So this video that I just, man, this video that I just, and I suggest to the people that they're just joining in to go back to this program and see the interview of the migrants that they're coming. Sheesh, the ideals and what they're thinking, it is just hijo de la chinga. Incredible. It's just incredible. It's difficult. And it's painful to just see our people just sadly, the level of education and situations which is happening. Thank you so much for joining in. God bless you all. I will be leaving this program. Stay safe. Follow me on X as Oscar Blue. Follow me on all platforms as Oscar Blue or Oscar Blue Ramirez. Follow my brother right here, Ben Bear Kwam. Also follow the people that they have incredible information on what's going on around the globe. My mentor, Chuck Holton, I sent him a big hug, man. Huge hug to my mentor. What up, Chuck? God bless you all. Michael Young also, Ann Vandersteel, and all the good people, man. Operation Burning Age. To all the good people, man. Stay safe. Happy Tuesday. Everybody's saying happy Tuesday. Oh yeah, it's Tuesday. No, for you guys it's Tuesday. For me, it's not Tuesday. For me, it's 10:42 in the evening, man. For me, it's not even Tuesday yet. For a lot of you guys on the East Coast, it's Tuesday. Somebody saying Oscar is a good man. God bless you, man. God bless you, man. Those are great, great comments. I get enthused, when I see those comments. So get motivated to keep going, man. When we have been having such a difficult time, and it has been really difficult. I'm not even gonna lie. These years they haven't been easy. God bless you. Stay safe, and like we always say, people, God's plan, it is our mission. Stay safe.